at the end of the class, when there's a point we get to, you will not have the functionality that we use, the function that we use in your own Excel. So you can at least try upgrading it. Just take it to a cyber cafe. Tell the cyber cafe to, if you don't have Excel in your system, you can tell the cyber cafe to install a new one for you. Or if you have an Excel already, tell the cyber cafe to upgrade it for you. But for our class today, you can you can work with the one you have already. So I believe I believe all computers have Excel. I think almost all the computers I've seen, they always have pre-installed Excel app. So in case you don't know, just search for Excel in your system. I'm trying to okay, yeah. I'm trying to set this change the settings so that anyone can join without me admitting them. Because when I start the class, I might not be able to see people that are asking for that are requesting for admission. So I've I've turned on the settings so no one has to ask. Yeah. Let me share my screen now so we can begin. So can you all see my screen? Hmm. Can you all see my screen? Okay, that's me. That means you can see my screen. So this is Excel, right? This is Excel here. So if you open your Excel, you're going to see this interface. So this is the home. This is the, let me be sure that, okay, I want to be sure that it's being recorded. All right, so this is the Excel interface. So this is home. This is where we are now, home. So in home, you can see the previous data sets that you've worked on. So in our first class, I explained what data set is. Data set is a data, right? That's an information that is arranged in a row and in a column, right? A data that is arranged in a row and in a column. So that's what we call a data set. So you'll be working as a data analyst, you are going to always be working with data sets, right? Please, if you can't hear me or you can no longer see my screen, you can just unmute your mic and let me know. Okay? Is anyone there? Hello, can
Yes,
you
ma, we are
guys
there.
hear me? Okay. Please, I'll be needing your response, please. Because when I'm on Excel app, I can't see the Google Meet app. So I'll be needing your response, please. Thank you. All right, so yeah, I've explained what data set is. Data set is just informations that are arranged in rows and columns. So these are the previous data sets that I've worked with. So you can see them in your recent. If you pinned any chart, any of them, you can see it here. So this is a blank workbook. So this is getting started with Excel. Like I would advise you to go through these things here. It will help you to learn how to make use of Excel. This one is welcome to Excel. Take a tour. This one is the formula. You learn how to use formula, and this one is pivot table, Python. You can just go through the welcome to Excel. so you can, familiarize yourself with Excel interface. Okay. All right. So we are going to click on this blank workbook. So this is a blank workbook of Excel. So the vertical side of Excel, the vertical side is the column. So these are columns. The column starts with letters. These are columns. So I advise you have a note.
Something is blocking the screen. We're not seeing.
What do you say? Sorry, I didn't get you. What did you say?
Corrected. Something was initially blocking the screen.
Okay, but can you see it now?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. So I was saying it will be helpful to you if you can get a note, right? As we begin, so that you can always, jot some things down. Well, the I'm recording the video, so I'll still make it available for you guys anyway. So as I was explaining, the vertical side is called a column, right? And column starts with alphabets. Column starts with alphabets. Then the horizontal side are called rows. So this is row one, this is row two, this is row three, four, five. So the rows, they start with numbers. They start with numbers. So that's what I mean by a data set is an information that's arranged in rows and columns. So if I open that superstore data set now, so this is a data set, right? It's an information that is arranged in rows, that's arranged in rows and column, that's arranged in rows and column. So this is a data set. So you will constantly be hearing data sets as we go on. So I'm emphasizing on it so that you will not be confused or you won't forget what it is. All right. So now the next thing we are going to learn is how to import data into Excel. So the how to import Excel, you can import it in two ways. Either you go to your file manager and then you right click on the data set you want to work on, right? Let me send the data set that we are going to use to the group chat now, so that in case anyone that wants to follow me can do so. And maybe if you are watching the video, you can also follow up. Let me send it. Just give me a minute. So we'll be having an assignment too. At the end of this class, I'll be giving assignments. So please pay attention. So I just sent the data set. It's a superstore normalized data set. This data is from a supermarket, right? It's from a supermarket. So you can download it to your system. That's if you want to practice with me, or maybe whenever you are watching the video, you can work with it. All right, so I said the first way of importing your data is either you go to your file manager, you right click and open with Excel. Either you go to your file manager, right click and open with Excel, or sorry, I heard a sound. Who is raising a hand? David, your hand is raised up. You have a question. If you have a question, you can just unmute your mic and ask, please. Oh, if you have a question, just unmute your mic and ask me. So another way of importing data is when you go to the home, when you select a blank worksheet, you just click on this file, then choose this open here. I hope you guys can see it. Can you see it? Can you see where my arrow is? Can you see where my arrow is? Hello. Oh dear. So can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. So I'm sharing my screen now. So I was explaining how to open your how to import your data. So I said in your home, click on this open here. Click on this open here. Then click on browse. This browse will still take you to your file manager. Then you can now select the file you want to open and click on open, right? So but see the file I want to work with is already here. Okay, so this is I mentioned before, this is a supermarket data set, right? So we have different sheets. This place we call them sheets. So different information can be in different sheets. So this sales sheet here now contains information about sales, right? Contains information about the sales. Then this customer sheet now contains information about the customers. So these are the customer ID. That's the ID they are using to identify the customers. And then these are the customer names and segments. Then this sheet sales rep. So this sales rep is like the sales representative. Please, if your mic is on, kindly turn it off. Thank you. So this is sales rep, right? These people that sell for them, they are workers that sell in the supermarket. So this is the sales rep ID. Then this is the sales rep name, the sales team, their names. Then locations. This location sheet is the location of their different shops. So this is the location ID, the city where the shop is located, and the state, the postal code, and the region. Then this product sheet is the sheet that contains the information about their product. So this is the product ID, the category of the product, the subcategory, and the product name. So that's
Please,
all.
ma, sorry, ma.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Go on. I can hear you. Can you go on? Please, instead of raising.
I'm not seeing your screen.
Okay, is that for everyone? Let me know if it's for
I
my
can't see
end.
your screen.
Okay, okay. Is everyone not seeing my screen? Because it might be in your
Yeah,
network.
I said I can't see your screen.
I can hear you. I said it might be your network. So I want to be sure if it's from my side. So is anyone seeing my screen or is it for everybody? Is it
No,
only
no, no.
David, can you see my so can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we can hear you.
Are you guys seeing my screen now? Is anyone seeing my screen? Is anyone seeing my screen? If you can't see my screen, that means it should be your network.
Yes,
No.
yes.
No, we're not.
Just try disconnecting and connecting back. But if your network is having
See the
problem,
screen.
I'm going to make this video available
Yes, I
No.
can see it now.
Yes, yes,
to you. So please let's go
yes.
ahead. All right, so now what we are going to learn is how to navigate in Excel. Okay, before that, I don't think I've explained the features in Excel. So this place, please can you turn off your mic if your mic is on? This place, all these places that have all these different features here. they are called ribbons. All these different features, all these features, they are called ribbon. So you might be asked, go to the ribbon, then go to alignment. You know that this is what they are talking about. Ribbon, the normal ribbon we know, not different ribbon spelling. The normal ribbon you know. So this they are called it's called ribbon. Then these are the different features in it. So in this ribbon we have different tabs. So if you can see my mouse, you will see that there are different tabs here. We call these things tabs. So this is we are the home tab. So when you click on the tab, it will bring out different features under it, right? Wait, just give me a minute. Okay, you can help me to off the gas. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see it
I
now?
can't see your screen.
Please, if you can't see, just try
Screen.
disconnecting and connecting back. Okay. All right. So I was saying these things are called ribbons,
I can't
and
see your screen
this place they
too.
are called tabs. So we are the home tab. When you click on the home tab, you see the features there. These are the different things you can do
Showing now.
under the home tab. So when you click on this insert tab, you see the different things you can do here. When you click on this page layout, you see the different things you can do. When you click on formula, the same thing. Data tab, the same thing. So I'll be telling you, okay, go to your data tab, go to your insert tab, so you know what I'm talking about. These things are called tabs. I'm going to take care of that in our next class. So can you see my screen? Can you see
Yeah,
my screen?
Yes,
partially.
ma'am.
Okay. When you can, let me know, please. Okay. I think it's loading. Can anyone see
Not
it
yet,
now?
ma'am.
Can you see the I'm in Excel? Can you see it? Okay.
I can only yet see your screen more.
I can't see it also.
I'm away. I'm trying to stop sharing so I can share again.
We can't see your screen, ma.
I just start sharing it again. If you can see it, let me know. Can you see it? Can you see my screen? Okay, thank God. All right, so I was talking about tabs. So these are the different tabs. So after tabs, the next thing I want to talk about is how to navigate in Excel. So because we're dealing with large data sets, so you might not be able to navigate manually the way
Yes,
we
yes, I
Yes, I can
can.
see
we
your
do,
screen, mom.
right? You have to learn how to navigate in a faster way or find shortcuts for different things. So let's say we
Yes,
want to go to the last cell. Okay, I didn't explain that. So I already explained what column is and what row is. So in case you don't know what cell is each of these boxes. Each of these boxes, they are called cell. Each of these boxes, right? Then a collection of these boxes like this is a range. So when you highlight collection of the cells, when you highlight collection, different collection of the cell is called a range. So now this is a range of cells, right? This is a range of cells. Are we together? Are we together? Problem now. I've changed my internet connection. We're not going to have any network problem now. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay, please let's continue. All right, so I was about explaining how to navigate through Excel. So the last thing I was saying was, in case you want to go to the last cell of your column, let's say, because most times the data set you'll be working with will be so large, like this one now is 9,999. It's so this data set is around 9,900 and something. So most times you'll be working with large data sets. So in case you want to go to the last cell of your of your of your data set, that's the last cell that has, or the last row that has the data in your data set, what you will do is you click on the first cell here, you click on it, then you hold your control key, then press your arrow key down, the downward arrow key. You press the downward arrow key, then it will take you to the last row of your data. So this is the last row of our data, 9,999. This is the last row. So in case you want to go up again, you also hold your control key and press the arrow key upwards, the upward arrow key. So you notice that when I pressed the upward arrow key, it stopped at the first cell, right? And then we are still seeing 9,980. So all you need to do is just to press the downward arrow key again, then it will take you back to your first cell. Did you get what I just said? Okay, I'll repeat myself again just in case. So I said if you want to go down to the last row of your data, you click on the first cell like this, hold your control key, then click on the last arrow key, the downward arrow key or arrow button. It will take you to the last row of your data. Then if you want to go back, you want to go to the first cell again or the first row again, hold your control key and then click on the upwards arrow. So when you do that, see that it will take you to the first cell, but you're still seeing the 9,990, 980. So all you have to do, just click on the downward arrow key again, then to take you back to your first cell. So this is how to go up and down in Excel. So let's say you want to go to the last, the right side, the right end of your data. So I want to go to the last end, that's the right side, the last cell at the right side. If you want to do that, you still hold your control key, then click on the right arrow key. So you see, it will take you to the last cell that has data in your column. Then if you want to go back to the left, you still hold your control key and click on the left arrow key. It will take you back to the left. Did you get it? Okay. Are you the only one in class? Okay. All right. So then the next thing we'll talk about now is how to copy. If you want to highlight your data. So let's say we want to highlight this whole column. You can just click on this. You can just click on the header. That's this ABC. You can just click on it to select a column, right? If you want to select this column, just click on the letters you are seeing. You'll be able to select it. So if you want to select more than one column, you hold your control key, right? Then keep clicking on the column you want to select. That's if you want to select more than one column. You hold your control key. You first select one column by clicking on the header, then hold your control key and then select the rest. That's if you want to select more than one, right? Then if you want to highlight, sometimes when you want to do any change or you want to work on on a column, you don't want to have anything to do with this header A, right? You want to everything you want to do, you want to start with this first cell. So how do you do that? How do you highlight from this first cell to the end of the column? So to highlight from this first cell to the end of the column, click on the first cell, hold your control key, your shift key, your control key and your shift key, hold them at the same time. Then click on the downward arrow key. So you see, you'll be able to copy, you'll be able to highlight the column without the header. So I'll repeat again. If you want to highlight a column without the header, click on the first cell of the column, hold your control key, hold your shift key, hold them together, then click on the downward arrow key. It will do what? Copy the whole column for you. So now if you want to copy, if you want to, sorry, I keep making that mistake. It's not copy, highlight. If you want to highlight the whole data, like you want to highlight the whole column, you first have to highlight one column like this. Then you can hold your control key again, your shift key, then click on the right arrow key. It will do what? It will highlight the whole column of your data set. So this is how to do the highlights. Should I repeat it again? Okay. So I said if you want to highlight your column without the header, make sure you are selecting the first cell of your column, right? Then click on your control key and your shift key. Hold them. Hold the control and the shift key. Then click on the downward arrow key. It will highlight the whole column. Then if you want to highlight the data set, everything like all the columns at once, you first have to highlight a column, which we've done already. So after you're done highlighting a column, then you hold your control and shift key again, then click on your right arrow key. You'll be able to what? Highlight the whole column. So I think this should do justice to that. So that's how you do your highlight. So in case you want to go to, you want to highlight, let me say you want to highlight this range, you want to highlight everything from this, from row 1 to 4. You want to highlight everything across the column. What you do, as you just highlighted this 4 rows, you still hold your control key, your shift key, then click on the right arrow key. It will highlight to the end of your to the end of the right side of your data. So to highlight, you hold your shift and control key, then use the arrow keys to go to any side, that's any side you want to. So that's how we highlight a column. So are we okay? Can I go ahead? Okay, what's your question? Okay. You highlight in case you want to. Okay. Let's say you are going to make me to start going to what we're not supposed to talk about today. Let's say I want to remove
Yes.
duplicates. Removing duplicates now, right, is one of the steps in data cleaning. And duplicates is an information that is repeating itself. Maybe let me say this cell now, this value here, you are seeing it in another place, exact value. And not just for this cell, like this whole all the information in this whole row is appearing more than once. We call it a duplicate. So let's say you want to remove a duplicate, you first have to highlight the whole column, the whole data set. So I will first have to highlight this. Then I will now go to my data tab, right? I will now come and click here. I will now come and click on this remove duplicates, right? To remove my duplicates. So most times when you want to, even if I want to remove empty values or empty cell, I will still have to highlight my data. So you will come across situations where you have to highlight them. Do you understand? Do you have any other question? Does anyone have any question before we can go ahead? Oh, okay. All right. So the next thing we are going to talk about, we are going to move into data cleaning.
Yes.
If you're in my first class or you have gone through the note I sent, you will know what data cleaning is. Data
Yes,
cleaning
yes,
is
I got
just
it.
the processes we go through to remove errors, to remove misspelled letters or misspelled words, to remove any inconsistencies in your data, like anything that is not meant to be there, right? We call it data cleaning. You just clean it to make sure that your data is correct. So we clean data because it's very important. A dirty data will give you a wrong result. It will give you a wrong result. And when you um present that findings to a stakeholder, they will make a decision based on that wrong result, right? Making them they will not make a mistake or lose money based on that decision they made. So that's why it's important you always clean your data. It's important to clean your data. It's important when you get the data. The first step is you collect your data. After you get your data, the next step is cleaning it. After you are done cleaning it, you can now start your analysis. So that's what we are going to do now. We're going to learn how to clean data. So the first thing we are going to learn how to do is to trim your data. So let's say you come across a data set that some of the words are not aligned well. Let's say I'm just creating this myself. You are seeing something like this, not starting from the beginning. It's not starting from the beginning. You know that it's not aligned well. You shouldn't leave it that way. You shouldn't leave it that way and just continue your analysis. It's going to make your work just look unpleasant in the eye. So as you can see, I just expanded this column. So in case you want to expand your column, just bring your mouse to the edge of this line, double tap and drag it. Then you can expand it. Double tap, drag, double tap, drag. You can expand it as you want. So yeah. So this thing now is not aligned. This is not where it's supposed to start from. This is not where it's supposed to start from. So how do you trim it? How do you we call the function trimming? How do you trim it? So before you trim a data, right, you have to first create what we call a helper column. So a helper column is just an empty column that we use to make corrections to a column that we want to clean. So we just call it a helper column, helps us
Yes,
clean
yes.
our
Yes,
column.
please.
So to create a helper column, you can just click on this. You can come to the next column beside the column you want to trim. You right click on it. When you right click, you see insert here. You click on insert. So when you click on insert, you see that a new empty column is here, right? This is what we call a helper column. So most times when you want to do any cleaning in Excel, you will have to create this helper column to do the cleaning. So now this is our helper column. The next thing we have to do is to start writing our formula. Are you guys still with me? Hello? The helper column part. Okay. You just inserting an empty column. It's not really a big deal. Just click on the header of any column beside. See the column we want to trim here, right? I will just come over to this other column. Right click on it. You see insert here. You just click on insert. You see a new column that is empty appears. So this is just what we call a helper column. Have you tried logging out and logging back? Hmm? It should be your network. If others are seeing it, means it will be a network issue. So try logging out, log back, maybe change where you are staying to see if you can get a better network. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
but
continue.
I have a question.
All right, so the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to write a
My
formula.
question
So in
is, what's
Excel,
the
when you want to
essence
write a
of the
formula for a
highlightment?
function, you have to start
And
with
if
equals
you
to. I don't
highlight,
know,
where are you
maybe
going
some
to
of you
keep
might have
those
heard that
documents you
already before.
highlighted?
You have to start
Because
with equals to. So this equals to
I'm
sign
not getting why you are
make
highlighting.
Excel will recognize that whatever you want to do is a formula, right? If you don't put equals to sign, it will just think is an information, it's just a data you want to just write, right? It will not perform any action. So whenever I put equals to, it will perform an action. So the action we want to perform is trim. So equals to then trim. So when I writing the trim, you see that option for trim pops up. So you just double tap on it, double tap on that trim. So it comes there with an open bracket. So after you're done double tapping and it comes out with an open bracket, you now click on the first cell of that column that you want to trim. So this is the first cell here, right? The standard class. I'll click on it. You see, it comes over here, D1. So every cell has a name. Every cell has a name. So the name of this cell is D1. How they come about these names is because this cell is under column D and row 1. Is under column D and row 1. So that's how they come about this name. So after that, you just click enter. After you finish clicking the first cell of your column, click enter. So when you click enter, you notice that is being trimmed. This
Yes.
excess spaces now is being trimmed. You might be saying, can't we
No.
just trim it by just clicking on it and trimming it?
No.
Remember, you are going to working with thousands of rows, so can you, if they're like up to 50, can you have that patience to trim them one by one? So that's why we need all these things. All right, so you notice that it's being trimmed. If you double click on the cell, you can still see the formula again. Are you guys with me? Oh, I'm disconnected. Please, someone that was following, can you let me know? Okay. I, really, is that where I stopped? I didn't. You guys didn't see when I was writing this equals to. Wow, and I've gone far. Wow. Okay. So I was talking about how to create a helper column. So to create a helper column is just to create a new column. That's what it is. It's just to create a new column. So when you want to create a column, you can either, if you want to create a new column that you want to use, that's a helper column you want to use, to trim your column is either you create a new column here or you create it here. So to create it here, you just come over to this column, right click, then click on insert, then a new column will be inserted. So see, a new column is inserted. So after your new column is inserted, you start with equals to. So in Excel, when you're writing a formula or a function, we always start with equals to, because it helps Excel to recognize it as a formula or a function, right? So if you don't start with equals to, just assume you are just writing down an information. So we write equals to, then the function we are working with is trim. We want to trim this data. So as you're writing the trim, you notice that trim pops up as an option. So you just double click on it. When you double click, it comes out with an open bracket. Are you guys still with me? Oh, thank you. All right. So it comes out with an open bracket. So after that, the next thing you will do is to click on the cell, the first cell of the column you want to trim. You just click on it. So this is the first cell. I'll just click on it. So it will come out as what? D1. D1. So each cell has a name. So the name of this cell is D1. And how the name of this cell came about, or how cell names come about, is that you check the column and the row. So for this cell, is under column D and row 1. So that's why it's D1. So this second cell will be D2 because it's under column D and row 2. Alright, so after selecting the first cell, the next thing you will do is to click enter. Right? It's to click enter. So when you click enter, you notice that the word this cell is being trimmed. You notice that it's being trimmed. Are you guys with me? Okay, so you notice that it's being trimmed, right? Yeah, so this is how we trim our data. So now to do the same for the rest, you just come over to the right end here, this small box here. When you hover your mouse on this small box, when it turns to a cross, this black cross like this, you just double click. When you double click on it, you will see that it will replicate, right? It will replicate the same thing you did for other cells. So see, that's replicated, and the ones that needed trimming, it has trimmed them for us. The ones that needed trimming, they've been trimmed. Now we have two columns with the same information, so we cannot leave them. We cannot just let it be. We need only one column with the same information. So if you say you want to delete this D now, want to delete this D column, you right click and you click on delete. You see that this one that we created is giving us that's error. So you can't delete that D column because this is where this one is coming from. So what do we do? So this is the last thing we'll talk about today. What are we going to do? How do you delete one of it? So to delete one of these columns, you are still with me, right?
Now, please, I need you to explain it again.
Okay. To delete one of these columns, you just copy
Yes.
this column. Click on the E, right? When you highlight it, right click. When you right click, click on copy. It's being copied. Then come over to this D column. Right click. Then go to paste options. Then select this values, this 1, 2, 3 value here. Select it. When you click on it, you see you've pasted it on this column. So now two
But
of them are being
honestly,
trimmed. The
I'm not
action we
seeing your
took here
screen, ma.
has been pasted. So the action we took here, if you want to uncopy this, just double click, it will disappear. So the action that we took here has now replicated here. So now we can go ahead and delete one column. We can now delete this column without any error. So now we have our column trimmed. We now have our trimmed column. We now have our trimmed column. So do you have any question? based on what I just did now. Hello. Okay. Which part don't you understand? So I'll know where I will start from. From where? That one is far. Do you know what? I'll be dropping the video here. You can go back to that one. You can go back to it. You can watch it again. I'm sure you will get it. Yes. The only thing I would like to explain again is
You're
how I was
explaining
able
how
to
to create
delete one column.
another column.
Is how I was able to delete one column. That's what I'm willing to explain again. So this is the column, the trim.
At all.
So to expand it, you just come over here, double click is to expand. Then if you now want to keep one column, you copy this new one that we just created and paste on this original one. Paste it using this 1, 2, 3, these values. They do different things. So paste it using these values. When you click on it, what happened here will also happen here. So you can now go ahead and delete one column without having any issues. So this is how to trim your column, right? So please, after this class, I'm going to get the video ready and send to you guys. You can go through the video, right? And then if you have any question, you can ask me. So I changed my network provider to a better one. I feel like this one is better. This one is strong and network is better than the former one. So we'll be using this one. So we'll not be having so much lag in network connection. I won't have to be disconnecting all the time like before. So please go through the video and let me know if you have any question you can ask. Then I will not be able to give you guys assignment today. So when we are done with data cleaning, I will provide an assignment for you so you can try what we learned. So do you have any question from our class today? Do you
Yes,
have
sir,
any
with you, ma.
question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. All right, guys. We'll see tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow. Bye. All right.